This over here is the Founders Edition 5090. Then we checked out the Palette 5090, but there's another box that has just arrived. And I think this could be the nicest of them all. Let's take a look. Licensing Windows is cheap and easy with whokeys.com, and if you use the code TN20, you get an extra discount. Complete the purchase, copy the key, and paste it to the activation settings. And you're all done. Also check out their Microsoft Office 19 license and use the same code TN20 for the extra discount. Check out whokeys.com in the video description below. The box is pretty huge. I'm hoping that this GPU isn't, or maybe is, because the bigger the better, right? Most of it is just cardboard, just to keep this guy safe. Oh, wow. I am very much enjoying this design straight away. Zotac Gaming, solid design, because they've got a different version of the 5090 as well. They've got the Amp Extreme as well, which is like their higher end one, OC one, whatever, which for creators really doesn't mean a thing. 3+2 year warranty. iStorm, which I think are the fans. Spectra 2.0, which is the RGB software, that I haven't been a big fan of. Dual BIOS, Freeze Tech, Firestorm, all sorts of things. Blade Blink fans, stronger and quieter spin, steadier airflow. To gaming and beyond. You need to know? What do I need to know? Okay, all the information that you're legally required to add in the product box. Some little character. There's a little light on the card which we'll find. If your power cable is not installed properly, it's going to be red light. That's good to know. Here we have the ARGB cable for the GPU to the motherboard. We've got nvidia 600 watt power cable adapter from the 12 pin, or it's actually 16 pin, 12 plus 4, to 8 times 4. And then a GPU sag bracket like this here. Simple, but it works. Oh, this is gorgeous. Quite deep fans. We've got a bit of a gold and grey design. In terms of backplate design, the Founders Edition is the most beautiful one. But a secondary choice, I've got to give it to this Zotac one, because that to me is much nicer than the one on the Palette one. By the way, if you enjoy videos like these for creators, then hit that like button. It actually makes a difference. Subscribe if you haven't already. And there's some other helpful guides, links for you in the description below, especially if you want to reach out. I'll always get back to my Minect messages within 24 hours. Links in the description below. Back to the video. I don't know, just the way the gold and grey go together is really, really nice. Interestingly though, the Zotac PCB, they did that last year as well. They like to keep it very, very long. Look how long this goes, all the way from there to here. On the Palette one, it ends somewhere there, so it's maybe like an inch shorter, something like that. In terms of pass-through, again, Palette has a lot more than this Zotac one here. There is a little bit of a pass-through, but there is a rigid, like this golden metal goes all the way around to make it like a spine to keep this card very, very rigid. Now, looking at them from the top, the Zotac card is 69 millimeters deep. The Game Rock one is the same, 69. And then the Founders Edition is 40 millimeters deep. But looking at the side design, interestingly, the Founders Edition kind of cable goes on a different angle, which I think for a lot of SFF cases and builds, this is going to be a lot better option than obviously these guys. This is the more conventional, just coming out like that. We've got a dual BIOS, I think, switch in here, and then we've got the ARGB connector in there. I wish if it was over there, it would be a little bit closer to the power cable like it is on the Palette here, because then you can actually hide it with the power cable maybe, but this here is like you literally have two cables running through, unless you want to somehow thread it through the GPU, through into there. But then might as well just put this header on the other side. Let it be there, connect it in, and then let it come out from here, or let the connector be somewhere over there. It would totally make a ton of sense to have it there. Now the fan design. As you can see, the Founders Edition has the deepest fans. They're 115 millimeters. Very, very big fan, which means it's gonna be very, very quiet because you don't have to spin it as much. The smaller fans usually are a lot louder. So looking at the pallet ones here, we have them as 97 millimeters. And I'd say from blade's edge to the other blade's edge on the Zotac, we have them at 95. In terms of depth though, the Zotac fans seem a lot skinnier than the pallet ones. Skinnier than the Founders Edition ones. Just an interesting observation. If you want to mount it vertically, you know, on your PC, it is quite minimal. I like that. So pallet has quite a lot of things going on in there, but the Zotac is kind of just these lines and Zotac gaming in there, not much more. You've got a little bit of a logo on the fans. That's it really. I've got to change the order this time because I really want to see which one of these cards is taller. Okay, I think the pallet one is 1 millimeter longer than the Founders Edition. Obviously, Founders Edition is the skinniest of them all. Even though the pallet one here has only 2 of these slots, they've grinded the 3rd one off. They're still exactly the same thickness of the card. The Zotac card has 3 slots and exactly the same display and HDMI ports. You've got 3 display ports and 1 HDMI port. Now, in terms of the bottom side of the card where you actually plug it into the PCIe slot, there's some interesting things happening. As you can see, Zotac has this massive opening here, which means that the air will blow through the fans this way and then directly onto the motherboard. You've got SSDs or whatever in there. So when these fans are going, even though the air is hot, it's still blowing the air and airflow is happening towards your motherboard and towards your SSDs, which is nice. Now the pallet doesn't have as much of that, and nvidia has hardly anything at all, only a tiny slither, these 2 here that will kind of blow through, that cools like the VRMs and memory and all of these things. But I think the Zotac cooling actually, I will be very, very impressed because there's a lot of blow through from the sides. In terms of design, I prefer the Zotac one over the pallet one. Now, if you are watching this, wherever you're watching this, please let me know what are the different pricing in your region for these cards. I'll try to leave the links in the description below as well, so you can kind of go through and it should leave you to the local shops and your local links. But I have a feeling that the Founders Edition is going to be quite expensive actually, because it's scalping and so on. I think the Zotac's going to be the cheapest and pallet's going to be the most expensive, but you just let me know. Interestingly, you can see that the pallet card from the thickest point is 137 millimeters, whereas the Zotac card is only 123. I'm liking this design a lot. I like that people are going a little bit more minimal. I think we should do a build in the Fractal North with this. Let me know what you think. Fractal North with this 5090, create a PC. Now you're talking. Let's build it.